Hi there, everybody. This is Amber Johnson with Helping the Good People. Good afternoon or evening. I don't know what time it is in your world, but it is 6:33 here. And today I'm just going to jump right in and welcome all my newbies and my oldies. Welcome to my channel. If you will, like, subscribe, and share if you're interested in following any more of my stories here on YouTube. I have a variety of topics that I speak about. I also do videos in music, just whatever. I've been known to just turn on the camera and speak to you. So if you give me a moment of your time, 5 minutes even, turn it on in the background and just listen, then you'll have a better chance of understanding where I go with my videos. And yeah, so welcome. Today I wanted to talk about what one topic would be, how do I say this? How do you get into a topic anyway? You know, you want to say something out loud and you go to communicate it and your whole body just freezes and then your mind goes blank and you forget what you're talking about or what you were trying to convey. And that's what I have a hard time with, is speaking to you guys here. And I do better with like music and writing and quotes. I'm known as the Queen of Quotes. Very spiritual quotes, I guess. So the topic that I wanted to get into was the art of manipulation. Yeah, I said it. Art of manipulation. Over years, I've dealt with a lot of manipulators. And, you know, in the beginning of a situation that regards a manipulator, the first thought is, what is a manipulator? Well, a manipulator is someone who, see, I like to take notes. Hold on a minute. I want to give you the interpretation that came off of Wikipedia. A manipulative behavior is intrinsic to narcissists who use manipulation to obtain power and narcissistic supply. It is also the act of manipulating something in a skillful manner, harmful influence over others, action of manipulating someone in a clever or unscrupulous way. And that right there tells me one thing, which is about motive. The one thing about manipulation is motive. No matter which way you look at it, no matter how many websites you want to look at and read and research, it all comes back to the same thing. It's about motive. Motive. What is the overall intention? That is what it is. It's a final goal. Manipulation is a person who intentionally goes out of their way to either get close to you, to motivate you to see their side of a situation, and to persuade your emotional reaction to it to find your weakness. It's kind of like a cycle. If you really think about it, it's the wheel. All of my research that I've done today and in history over the last 20 years, it all comes back to domestic violence and the wheel. It's narcissism. Manipulation is narcissistic. I really hope that you guys are understanding where I'm going with this video. It's a really sensitive subject for me because, you know, I've dealt with manipulators my whole entire life, starting with my father. And that is another part of why I want to discuss about the art of manipulation, is because there's two forms. There's the psychological, which is actually a born genetic behavior that you're born with. And then the sociological, you know, aspects of manipulation is also in the form of learned behavior. It's character. You know, if you think back to childhood, if you read studies on children, the ones that were cradled the most, the ones that cried out and were constantly reassured, the kids that, forgive me while I try to figure out how to speak this. I got crazy neighbors. So if you hear some craziness, it's my neighbors. Talk about manipulation. If you guys had heard my neighbors, you'd understand. Anyway, the sociological and the learned behavior, okay? Going back to childhood. So, with learned behavior, how do I put this? Learned behavior is something that is sought out as children. So say we want attention from our parents, and our parents tell us, go away. Then we're going to act out. If it's a constant battle in your family to seek attention or to be heard, and you get shut down, that weighs on you. And you carry that. It's like putting a bag on your back and carrying it. My friend, he walks with bricks in his backpack when he walks. He says it's for exercise. But it kind of reminds me of that, carrying a heavy burden. The weight of that piles on. And it can destroy a person. It can cause them to do horrible things and go above and beyond to make someone else's life miserable. And that is what manipulation does. It destroys people. It is a singled out. It's a singled out plan. So you talk about intention. Okay, I got my little worksheet here. You talk about the intention, which is the truth and the lies behind what the real reason for the manipulation is by the person who's doing the manipulating. So in other words, their intention and their motive is to come in, woo you, tell you beautiful things, tell you all these grand things that they can do to help you. And guess what? They're not sincere. They're not. And you know how I know this? It's because it's in the eyes. It's in the actions. It's in the behavior. It's how they speak to you is their big red flag and what follows after that. The one thing I've learned is within the first sentence that someone speaks to you is usually the truth. Not even usually, it is. So next time you want to ask someone a question, say, you can even try this out. Try asking someone a straight up question and see their response. Especially if you already know the answer to it, it's even funnier because you can play a game with your friends to kind of practice the back and forth communication and help teach each other how to deal with manipulators. That's a good one I just came up with. I think I'll try that one out in my next group. To play a game with your friends. Play role play. There you go. Hold on a moment. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get my coffee. I made some coffee. All right? Well, I hope you guys are following what I'm saying. No matter what, I am glad that you're here. And if you're still listening, like and subscribe and share to my channel. Like the video. Let someone else hear it. Someone else might need to hear it right now. I know there's times when I spend almost the afternoon sometimes just listening to videos because I need some insight into my own knowledge into what's going on. And the most of it all stems back to manipulative people in my life and what I'm doing to cut them out. But it's about acknowledgement, man. You got to know that you're being manipulated. And if you don't, your gut tells you. You have a gut instinct. Let me remind everybody, this topic has been coming up lately. And it's come up about psychism and, people who have gifts. Let me just remind you, everybody in this world is psychic. Everybody in this world has the same exact features, emotions, feelings. We're all connected as a being of energy. I don't know about you, but when I get around someone who's on drugs, I feel like I'm on drugs. If someone's pissed off, I'm going to feel pissed off. My therapist of 12 years says that it's called empathy. I'm empathic, Amber. Amber, you're empathic. When you learn how to control your emotions, the rest of you falls into place. So I spent years learning about this stuff, finding out what's wrong and why I repeat the same cycles over and over again with master manipulators. So let's just go on here. Another form of manipulation is they play on the weaknesses of vulnerable people. You know any people like that prey on situations or vulnerable people? Or when you're most vulnerable? That is when the manipulator attacks the most, is when they know you're vulnerable. Why? Because we feel safe, we trust to open up, we want to talk to them, and so we open up ourselves. And by doing that, it's called vulnerability. We are in our weakest moments. And what do? They swoop in and try to save the day. Or they do the opposite and find that you will respond. If they piss you off, they're just waiting to push your buttons. They're waiting for you to be vulnerable so that way they can swoop in and just pull that rug right out from under you. Making you think, aren't I? Of situations in your life. Think about it. Think back to the last time you dealt with someone like that. Say you had a good day, a great day, and you just want to tell everybody about it, and you're so excited, and so you go to this friend of yours that you have, and you know that it's walking on eggshells almost, but you really want to tell them because they're your friend, right? So you show up, and then you're sitting there, and you tell them, right? And all they say is, well, maybe you should have listened to me, and you should have never done that because look where you're at now. See, I told you you wouldn't succeed at it. Those are the manipulators. Those are the ones that wait for that opportune moment to belittle you some more, to say, well, I told you so, right? That is messed up because they are known as what I call frenemies. You guys know what a frenemy is, right? When it comes in, sits at your table, butters you up, buys you food, tells you all these sweet nothings, and lie to your face while you're sitting there. Those are master manipulators. But you can see through it by watching their reactions, their conversations with other people while they're not even noticing. It's called being observant. You want to observe. Okay? Listen to the way they talk to other people. Look at the way that they present themselves in public or around your friends. Listen to what they say. That is another big key role. Now, the stuff that I posted on Facebook earlier was for this video. Not only did I need to update my own knowledge in it, but I also needed to clarify some things for myself. Now, I'm just flowing with this video, so if you're still listening, thank you so much. I'm telling you, this topic needs to be talked about more. And in all my research, it goes right back to narcissism, gaslighting, domestic violence, wheel. It's all the same. So if you're dealing with someone like this, understand you're not the problem. You're not the problem. The person who's manipulating, the person who is doing this for selfish needs is the problem. Once you accept that, then it's easier to move on and figure out how to get out of this mess. Only you can do that by accepting it. But in doing so, you also have to accept your own accountability, man. You have to say, well, I put myself here. I allowed this to continue. I allowed it to happen. So therefore, I take full responsibility. That is the art of letting go of the manipulator. So another thing is that they actually slowly turn your friends and your family against one another. Those are the ones that I call three-faced. I'm going to lean forward because I feel like I'm sitting in the dark cloud. I have been known to call some manipulators out on their BS, and one of them was a three-faced. I call it a three-faced because They're the ones that sit there and talk to your face, tell you all these sweet nothings, and then turn around and stab you in your back with the enemies. Now, I've been placed in situations like that with 3 people related to my case with my family. Now, I've dealt with this for 10 years, so I can tell you for a fact that when you're sitting there and you're talking to someone and you say, well, so-and-so said this about you, and they're like, well, that's kind of funny you say that because this person said that about you. And we're swapping phones, reading each other's texts, and it's the same stuff. That's what I call the 3-faced master manipulator, except for sometimes when you're doing something right, they always get caught. They always get caught in their lies. They always get caught, man. It's the questions. It's the way you question people. Get smart, people. Do some of your research. Listen to your instincts. Go with your gut. If you feel something is off, it is off. And I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of that lately. In my friendships, in the people that I'm surrounding myself in the people that have come into the bar, at Rockabilly, okay? People at my group, at Reed Park. And what do? I keep smiling. I keep wishing the best for them. I pray for them. Okay? That's all we can really do for manipulators, right? Is to accept the fact that we cannot change anybody but ourselves. This is a very touchy subject. I don't know. We're on about 16 minutes. I guess I'm doing better than I expected. So, puts on multiple faces, represents personal means of manipulation. In other words, they put on a face for the situation. So if they know that they got to come inside and, woo someone into getting money, then they already have that intention and that motive, right? So when they swoop in, they already got it laid out, what they're going to say, how they're going to say it. But what they don't know is that you're going to counteract their questions with questions. In other words, when they ask you a question, you're going to be like, well, so, why do you want to know? Or why is it so important to you? Put the question back on them. They don't like that because they're not going to be prepared for you to be that smart. It's all in the questioning. Remember that. My dad raised me in reverse psychology, and I guess in a way it kind of helped me. It's protected me. Knowing how to see manipulators way before they come and approach me in a bar. Okay, they also play the role until the role is no longer believable or is not needed for self again. Now, in other words, when they know that they've been caught or they know that they've been found out, they tend to disappear. For me, I don't know what it is. I guess I've put a powerful protection prayer over myself with the Lord every single day because I tell myself, like, Lord, protect me from evil. Keep anyone of ill intent away from me who wishes to do me harm. Just by saying that right there reaffirms that I'm protected. Because no matter what someone else does, that is their karma, their energy, and their problem. What is that saying people keep telling me? Not my circus and not my monkeys. Not my monkey, not my circus. You know what I mean? Just remember, you put yourself there. There's ways of protecting yourself. Okay? Once their whole MO is over and they've got what they want, they're gone. You won't see them again until they need something else. They might even disappear for 5 years and then pop back up, and you're going to be like, wait a minute, where have you been? Oh, blah, 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 and they'll woo you again, and then all of a sudden, a week down the road, here they are doing it again. That's not a way to live, guys. So they also, they're gossipers. They secretly discriminate you or the people that around you, okay, in secret, behind the scenes. And that is the best part about a manipulator. When they come in with a motive and their intent to do harm, they already know what they're doing. They slowly try to ruin your reputation. Now, I had a stalker come in one day at Panera Bread when I used to work there. Now, I'm going to give this as an example because I've just recently come in contact with some more shit. And the reason why I'm bringing it up now is because it reminds me of that person. Over a year ago, I'm sitting in Dale's truck out in the parking lot at my work at Panera Bread. Now, mind you, no one knew where I worked, and I've been dealing with harassment and stalkers for so long that I became numb to it. So, of course, this lady approaches me out in the parking lot, comes up to my car, and knew who I was. Okay? Out of the blue, just knew who I was. Oh, I'm a poor victim of domestic violence, and my family is in the law, and I'm scared, and I need help. And I'm like, of course I didn't believe it, but I do what I do best, and I help people. So I invited her in, and I bought her some coffee, and I helped her for a little bit, and I had to go to work. And something kept bugging me. Something kept telling me something's off. This lady's wearing big old glasses. I'll have to repost that picture because I took a picture of her ass. Big old glasses, a hat on, like, looked like crap, man. You could tell. Face all sucked in, like, ugh. So I took a picture of her, and I went and approached her, and I said, so what's your name? And she tells me, oh, Nancy. And I'm like, what's your last name? She goes, why do you want to know that? Let's just say I called her out on it. I told her I knew who she was. And she spent the next 3 hours in there gossiping to employees and clients for 3 hours trying to ruin my reputation. Now, mind you, I didn't know who this lady was, but she was identified later. It's pretty sad. Very, very sad when manipulators go above and beyond to ruin your life. Wouldn't you say? For what? Why would people do that? I'll never get it. I'll never get it. Let's see. I'll tell you what. These manipulators, they can sneak in, and they can be a part of it and plan it and plot it for anywhere from days, weeks, months to years. Did you hear me? Years. Years of planning. Years of being your friend. Years of people sitting there on your couch saying, hey, what's up? Meanwhile, they're gossiping about you and ruining your reputation when you don't even know about it. Those are master manipulators. So, this is just a touchy little subject. I have got so many different signs. You feel fear, obligation, and guilt. There are strings attached. That's another one. You notice the foot in the door and the face techniques. Manipulative behavior, psychological manipulation, will appeal to your emotions and hijack your logic. They steal from you. It's what I call energy vampires. The only thing is about this stuff is it doesn't take power over you unless you let it. You only give it power if you let it. If you think about it, that's giving away its power. Giving away your power. So what are you going to do about it? Stay tuned for my next video. We're going to walk through that process together because as I'm learning, I'm teaching you and I'm hoping you're learning. At least to see the signs that I have clarified for you in here because it's a part of my life, big time. And again, I'm being made aware of it. And again, I'm dealing with it. And again, it's not going to get me down because I'm a lover, not a fighter. And the more that people hate on you, the more love you need to give. For all those haters out there, I love you. You can't break my spirit. And for all of you guys that are in a situation right now and you can't get out, please don't be afraid to reach out to me. At least if you're here in Tucson. And if not, you can still leave a message here. And I can help you wherever you are. I do help with escape planning. And I'm a voice for domestic violence. And I've learned enough law to fight my own cases. And I will continue to do that after 10 years of dealing with master manipulators in and out of the courts, in and out of DCS, Pima County Sheriffs. I've been up against them all. And I'm still strong. And I hope you are too. I pray and pray that all of you guys are well, happy, healthy, and in a good place. And if not, I'm right here for you. Stay tuned. This is Amber Johnson with Helping the Good People, talking to you today about the art of manipulation. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.